Welcome back to a sports podcast with Brandon Griffin. That's me. You already know how it is. Gonna talk about sports today, I guess. Talk about the Panthers, the Hornets, the Tar Heels, different sports all around the world, I guess. Well, all sports that I know about. That's the about NFL, NBA, college basketball, college football, playoffs, all that type of stuff. Start off with the NFL last Saturday or Sunday, my bad. Um, Eagles played the Panthers. Panthers went to Philadelphia, almost took them out. Couldn't do it. Xavier Legette dropped a dropped a pass for a touchdown to win the game for the Panthers. Then all the Panthers fans decided that they probably hated him at the time because he's dropped it about 3 or 4 times already, and it's kind of fucked our team up a little bit. But other than that, I mean, I don't blame him. Wide receivers drop footballs all the time, so I'm gonna get over it because the Panthers lose all the time, so you can't just blame it on one person. So um, Jalen Hurts played like absolute shit. He almost lost to the Panthers. I wonder how he feels. Y'all say he's an elite quarterback, but I wouldn't say that if he couldn't beat the Panthers or couldn't even throw for 200 yards against the Carolina Panthers. That shit is sad as fuck. Almost, I think Bryce Young had more yards than him actually, so I'm not even gonna say anything. And then Saquon, he did have 100 and some yards. I don't think he had a touchdown though, so that was kind of shocking. Um, Guess I'll go to a different team. The Chiefs played the Chargers. That game was on Sunday night. Kansas City almost lost to the Chargers. It seems like almost every game Kansas City plays this year is going to end in a dramatic fashion. The kicker doinked it off of the left side of the crossbar and went into the field goal. I was kind of mad because I hate the fucking Kansas City Chiefs, but that's just because they win. And everybody starts bandwagoning them, and it gets cocky and it gets fucking annoying. And then you have the Bills versus Rams, where Josh Allen had me 51 fantasy points. I very appreciate him for doing that. I needed that to help me clinch my spot in the playoffs. So that helped me out a lot. So now, other than that, the Rams ended up beating the Bills 44-42. Even though Josh Allen had to come back from I think 20 something points to end up winning the game or losing the game by 2, but Josh Allen still played pretty good. He had 3 rushing touchdowns and 3 passing touchdowns, so you can't really say much about that. Then the Bears played the 49ers. The 49ers put belts of ass on them, so I mean I can't really say much about that because the Bears supposed to say Caleb Williams is their franchise quarterback. I mean he's playing decent, but Bryce Young's better, and Bryce Young isn't a bust. Bryce Young just needed the confidence and the help from Raw Wave, if you know what I mean. Um, yeah. So Bryce Young's on the roll right now. But go back to the Bears and the 49ers. Brock Purdy played really good. Looked like he almost got hurt on one play, but ended up coming back afterwards. Christian McCaffrey being out for the rest of the season with that fucking, I think it was either his knee or his ankle. It's pretty sad to see, being a Panthers fan, having him for about 6, 7, 8 years, and then he ends up getting hurt. Or he went to the Super Bowl that one year with the 49ers, ended up coming after the season saying he had like a tenderitis or whatever. Then he's been out for 2 seasons almost, and then comes back, then gets hurt again. Pretty sad to watch. Then you had Seattle playing at Arizona. Seattle beat them. You know, Geno Smith is starting to getting to have a better season than he started with. Because at the beginning of the season, I thought Seattle was going to be that team was going to be eliminated from the playoff contention. But then they started getting up, starting to get know what their plays are, and they'll start winning games. Thing is, DK Metcalf got hurt in the middle of the season, but he ended up coming back. So that's a good thing for Seattle. Jackson Smith-Njigba is starting to play like he was at Ohio State, and when that happens, that's going to be a really good thing for Seattle. Even if Tyler Lockett decides to retire, or if he ends up leaving for free agency whenever he does, or if that's same for DK. But I'm pretty sure Seattle will keep both of those guys for a pretty long time for extensions, even though I don't know what their contract stuff looks like. Dolphins play the Jets. They ended up going to overtime. I still don't like Tua, but that's just my opinion. One bad hit, that dude's going back to being in concussion protocol. Next thing you know, he's gonna have his fucking arms and hands up like he does when he usually gets the brain It just fucks his brain up. He should have retired, but that's just my opinion. My opinion doesn't matter because any football thing probably say anything different than me. So I'm just gonna shut my mouth on Tua. But Tyreek Hill starting to get back to being locked in, starting to get more yards, starting to actually play like Tyreek Hill. So I'm happy to see that. For Falcons versus Vikings, you had Sam Darnold want to play like fucking Tom Brady for one game, and you have Kirk Cousins that want to play like old Jameis Winston on the Bucks, throwing for 4 interceptions and no touchdowns. Crazy, crazy work. Um, but yeah, I think Kirk Cousins is probably starting to get washed. Be honest with you. I saw a stat where he had like 8 or 9 interceptions and 0 touchdowns in the past 4 games. That is a very bad thing. The Falcons might want to go ahead and start Michael Penix Jr. over him. That's just my opinion. My opinion does not matter, and it does not occur to any of them. So I'm just gonna say what I say, but just know they don't give a fuck about what I say. But I'm still gonna say it anyways. The Saints played the Giants. That fucking score is so ass. 14-11 is crazy work. Um, I wish the Giants would have won that game because I needed them to win for our fucking playoff picture for the Panthers. But knowing Derek Carr's out for the rest of the season, the Panthers might have a chance if they can keep losing. The Bucks can keep losing, and the Bucks ain't losing, but if they can start losing, and the Falcons can start losing. But we're starting to get in the conference play a little bit more, so that means we're gonna need the teams that are trash, like the Saints, to win, and we're gonna need the Falcons to start beating the Saints, or not the Falcons beat the Bucks. It's just gonna be a lot that we need to do. Panthers can still make it surprisingly, but it's gonna take a long, long road. Um, let's see. And then I saw that the Saints game that ended up being a blocked field goal by Brian Brees, and he ended up blocking the field goal and Gargano and shit. Like that was crazy when I saw it on what's called. Um, Cleveland and Pittsburgh. I know Cleveland beat Pittsburgh the first time around in the snow, where everybody was saying that Cleveland destroyed Pittsburgh and all that. Well, I guess that really showed what it would look like if they were playing on dry grounds and stuff, and it wasn't really snowing in the air. So I mean, can't really say the Browns are a good. I don't think they're not good at all. I mean, we all know that, but just saying. Bucks and the Raiders. I didn't really watch that game, but they won 28-13. Baker Mayfield's not playing really good, but if he's winning games, then that's all that matters for them, I guess. Even though I need them to start losing games. Jacksonville beat Tennessee 10-6. What a trash ass game that looks to be. Probably one touchdown and a field goal, and then 2 field goals for Tennessee. That's horrible. That's a really sad game. To be honest with you. Um, I guess that's all I got for the NFL segment. I guess. For college football, the playoffs are starting pretty soon. The bowl games are starting. You got what? I think it's who is it? Number one is Oregon, two Georgia, three Arizona State, and four Boise State. Um, I know that they all play pretty soon. I know that you got those are the ones that are on bye weeks this week, and the ones that play are Tennessee and Notre Dame. That's one game. I have Tennessee winning that game. Um, who else? Fuck. Who else? Plays Notre Dame. I don't know. That game's gonna be pretty trash. Both mid teams. Riley Leonard can either lead Notre Dame to that win or not. I have no idea. I'm going to go with Indiana on that game. The next games that play are SMU and Penn State. I know Penn State plays in their stadium, but it's a noon game. That's not going to help them as much. I think SMU goes and takes Penn State and upsets them. Clemson versus Texas. Texas will probably beat Clemson by more than 30 points. K. Klubnik is not built for the playoffs, in my opinion. Quinn Ewers isn't either because they lost to Washington last year. But I mean, Washington was really good with Michael Penix. But I mean, I don't think Texas is going to win with Quinn Ewers at quarterback. If they put Arch Manning in quarterback, I think Texas will definitely win that game against Clemson by more than 30 points. Then you have Tennessee versus Ohio State. I think it says at night. Yeah, at night. I'm going with Tennessee going into Ohio State and upsetting Ohio State. I don't think Ohio State's really that good. Their quarterback, I forgot his name. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to say his name wrong. I think it's Walker Howard. I'm not sure, but something like that. I'm just gonna say Walker Howard. I don't think that's his name, but fuck it. It's Will Howard. Will Howard. Oh shit. Pretty decent quarterback at Kansas State, but Will Howard's trash. When you have somebody around you like Emege Ibuka or something like that, and Jemiah Smith, you're bound to have good games. But when you're going against real competition, you can't win good games. You lost to a Michigan team that was hurt. That's sad. You're trash. You threw two interceptions. Like, come on now, be better. And then Tennessee, they're both 10-2, but I don't think Ohio State's that good in my opinion. Tennessee, they're decent. They're SEC. They're gonna win big games. They know what they're doing. So I got Tennessee beating Ohio State. Um, why do I think Ohio State's not beating Tennessee? Okay, first of all, Tennessee's an SEC school, and second of all, Ohio State has played Oregon. They were what 7 points away from beating them. That's a good thing. And then when they played Michigan, and they were what they lost by 3. First and foremost, the fucking division. Tennessee has to play Alabama, LSU, Ole Miss, South Carolina. All those teams are fucking top 25 teams. Like, you gotta think. Alabama's pretty good. You got fucking Tennessee. Tennessee they played Alabama at home this year, had Jalen Milroe shook as fuck. And then I think they played LSU and I think they lost, but I'm not sure. I can look up the record right quick. I know they were 10-2. I know they lost to Tennessee lost to Tennessee lost to Oklahoma. That was an upset. I know that for sure. And then they lost to Arkansas. What the fuck? They lost to Arkansas and Oklahoma. Oh my god, those are two horrible games to lose to. No. They didn't lose to Arkansas. I mean Oklahoma. Hold up. Okay, never mind. They lost to Arkansas and they lost to Georgia. So that makes sense. So the teams that they won against were all ranked. Tennessee lost to a Arkansas that was not ranked at all, and then they were ranked number 4. So that's a really bad thing. But they're playing Florida, Alabama, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Georgia, UTEP, and Vanderbilt. Like those teams right there are good. And then you have Ohio State that played fucking Iowa, Oregon, Nebraska, Purdue, Indiana, Michigan, Northwestern, and Penn State. They barely beat Penn State, and that's not a good thing. So I think Tennessee will win that. If Nico comes out and does his thing, he's beating Ohio State by more than 10, 20 points. I'm telling you right now. And their defense, Tennessee's defense is fucking full of dogs on it. James Pierce Jr., fucking draft. If he declares for the draft, he's going top 10. Nobody on Ohio State's going top 10 in the first round. So I got Tennessee winning that game by at least 20. You got anything else to say about any other questions about anything? How do I feel about it? I have SMU winning that game. And if we're going off a fucking record again, Penn State probably has SMU by a mile, but SMU plays with more grit, I think. I think SMU plays with more of a fucking like a more what do you call it? More swagger. SMU beat a Pittsburgh team that was ranked in the top 20. Beat a Boston College team that's bowl eligible and is pretty good. Beat Virginia. Virginia ended up being really trash. Beat California that had all the hype in the world after almost upsetting Miami. Beat Louisville. They were ranked at the time. Beat Duke, a top 25 team at the time. Well, they never was 25, but they deserve to be top 25. And then Stanford. And then lost to Clemson in the ACC championship. But and then they only lost their only losses that they've had was against Clemson and fucking BYU. Both of those teams were ranked in the top 25 at the times of playing each other. Penn State, they lost to Ohio State and I think Oregon. Yeah, Ohio State and Oregon. But they beat UCLA, a USC, a Wisconsin. Lost Ohio State, that's ranked number 4 at the time. Beat Washington, beat Purdue, beat Minnesota, and beat Maryland. But all these games that they played, like against Minnesota, they only beat them by 1, and they were down by like 20 the whole entire game. And then the game against USC, they were down the whole entire game, and then came back and beat them in overtime. So those, I don't see Penn State pulling it away. That's just I don't see it happening. And if you're asking me who do I think is going to win the national championship, I have a really biased answer, but that's not going to matter. I have Georgia and Oregon in the national championship, but I have Georgia winning it.
See, I'm an Oregon fan, though, and I see great potential on Oregon and how they doing their thing, man. Shout out to my quarterback.
What's your quarterback's name? Huh? Galen. Oh fuck? Yeah, what's his first name?
They usually just be calling him Gabriel. Right?
It's Dylan Gabriel. Yeah. Who's your running back, you know? I don't know who it is, so I'm not even gonna ask you. Um but yeah, you're an Oregon fan. Since you're an Oregon fan, how do you feel about your chances of making it to the national championship this year?
Well, I kind of have like high football because how they like been playing well and watching them play and stuff. It's just like it was a fun ride. So I do have like a good chance of them winning it all, but it's gonna be like a very tight game. Like you said, I can see Oregon versus Georgia,
Hmm.
or um, what's it called? And we might see dang on Notre Dame. Everybody saying Notre Dame like, like a favorite of it. Oh,
Where the fuck you hear that from?
trust me, I seen it.
From who?
Everybody,
Notre Dame fans? Notre Dame is probably the first fucking worst team in this fucking playoffs.
I seen that shit. I think it was on the sports channel.
I even see Notre Dame fans talking shit about their own quarterback, saying that they don't think their quarterback's going to lead them to the first round. That's fucking crazy. I don't think Indiana's going to go far, but I think they'll beat Notre Dame. I really do. Indiana's defense has been really underrated this year, even though they played nobody, but they're underrated as fuck.
Yeah,
The games that Indiana has lost to was Ohio State. That's the only game they lost to was against Ohio State. Ohio State's a really good team.
yeah, that's what I'm scared of.
If you're scared for Ohio State, you beat Ohio State.
Yeah, but it was close.
It was close, yeah, but Will Howard fucking sold because he didn't know how much time was left on the clock. He could have just spiked it, got
Yeah,
in field goal range, and would have tied the game up. Fucking idiot just fucking throws the ball downfield knowing that there's no time left. Like, what? No, he didn't even know. That's the sad part. How do you not know? You're a quarterback. You're supposed to be paying attention at the game clock. Like, that's crazy work. And then, let's see. All right, so you're an Oregon fan. Since y'all gone undefeated, do you think that undefeated season's going to have to come to an end because you've won too many games?
question.
Like, do you think Dylan Gabriel, Evan Stewart, Tez Johnson, all those receivers and quarterbacks and running backs, they're gonna be able to help y'all or help you win the national championship and hopefully keep the undefeated season alive?
I'm trying. I got that strong hope. Like I'm rooting for him for real, like all the way. I'm rooting for him.
Hmm.
It's just gonna be an interesting playoff. in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm waiting for it. I'm all for it. I can't wait to see who we face. It's either Tennessee or Ohio State. I gotta pay attention to that game. And I gotta pay attention to Clemson and Texas.
All right. All right. So if you were to play anybody in the national championship and you would be worried, who is the one team that you're most worried about playing in the national championship? Or overall general in the playoffs, who are you most afraid of playing if you have to play them?
Going against Georgia. Or either yeah,
Texas.
that school called
Who?
I don't wanna say that I don't wanna pronounce it wrong. But
You're not talking about the Blue Bronco team, are you?
yeah, that's what
Boise
I'm saying.
State? Well, I mean, last time y'all played them, y'all only beat them by 3.
Hey,
Ashton Genty ran over your fucking team's ass.
hey now.
He ran for almost 300 yards. So, yes, he did run over your team.
That's why I say we them two teams is
But I don't see Boise State going far. I really don't. Like, that's the same for Arizona State. I don't think either of those teams are good. Their competition has been all MAC. For fucking Boise State, it's been all MAC teams. Trash. And then you have freaking who? Arizona State played decent. They played decent teams, like Colorado and stuff like that. But, like, both of those teams are just not my favorite to win at all. I don't think they'll make it past their rounds. That's just my opinion. But you said you're afraid of Boise State. I mean, if Ashton Genty does not, if he has a bad game, they're not winning. Simple as that. They rely on him, and that's bad. You cannot just rely on one person on your team. You need a whole 11 people on your fucking offense and defense on that team to win games. And that's just what I think. And then, hold up, since we're talking about college football, Bill Belichick. But Bill Belichick got signed to the Tar Heels to be the next head coach for that football team. That is the fucking stupidest move I've ever fucking seen in my life. I'm a Tar Heel fan in almost every single sport, and I don't understand that move at all. Bill Belichick, why are we going to a fucking 75-year-old to a 72-year-old? Can we go for somebody younger, please? Because I want somebody that can actually survive and actually be my coach. I don't want to be thinking in the next 2 or 3 years my coach might be dying or something. Like, I'm sorry, bro, but can we go for somebody that's like 50 or 40? Like, that shit is crazy. And it's not even that. Bill Belichick is not a good coach. I stand on that shit. Fucking Tom Brady is the only reason why he has so many Super Bowl rings. And it's the truth. He couldn't win one without Tom Brady. Stay with me. Fucking Tom Brady has 7 of his 8 rings. And I don't even know what fucking 8th ring is, because I didn't even see him win a national championship. I don't know who else he has. Not a national championship, but a fucking Super Bowl. I don't even know who he fucking played for that 8th Super Bowl. But bro, his post record after fucking Tom Brady was 29-38. The fuck do you think that motherfucker is good? Hell no. Bill Belichick is trash. And I stand on that. That's probably why he had to come down to the fucking college record. Because it's fucking so bad in the NFL, he had to go down a level. Or then people are going to be like, oh, he was so successful in the NFL, he's going to be successful in college. I don't mean shit. He has to prove me wrong, because I don't like the move. I don't like the move whatsoever.
They still saying that you're fighting because of the water.
Life is 24 years old. He's 72. What the fuck is bro doing? He's been on that pedophile shit. It's 50 years difference. 50. What are you doing, Bill? Are you trying to pipe a young lady, bro? Or is she just getting you for the money, bro? I don't even know what the fuck's going on. That shit is crazy. Like, I don't understand. How's the 24-year-old woman, her parents, how the fuck did they even let that shit even happen? They're older than them. Bro. Holy fuck.
Even the parents.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for cussing. I'm sorry for all this Bill Belichick shit, but 50-year difference. That is bad. Like, was he scouting? Like, what was he doing?
Man, I don't even know. I don't know how they met. I don't even know.
He fucking me. It's a good question. Cause how the fuck do you how do you think as a 72-year-old, oh, I'm gonna bag this 20-year-old girl? If you don't think that's pedophilish a little bit, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. 50 years difference, bro. And this is for anybody that dates anybody that's 50 years younger or older. What goes through your mind? Because I can think about it. They haven't. I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, fuck can you do at that age? Like, how do y'all date? How do y'all do this shit? Like, what are you doing?
That's what I be thinking too.
Like, is he just there to fucking have her there? Like, what's the point of dating someone that's 50 years younger than you? You want to feel young again or something? Like, that's crazy. That's scary. And then on the Pat McAfee show, I'm pretty sure I've seen Bill Belichick on there talking a lot, trying to get him to go to Western Virginia. He should have went to West Virginia. That sounds right. That sounds really fucking right. Shit, I'm surprised, bro. I'm surprised he even came to Carolina. I think the only reason he came was to fucking have his son take over after he retires in probably like 2 years. But that's just my opinion. My opinion does not matter. All that stuff is his fucking life. I'm not gonna control it. I can't control it. That's his life. I'm not gonna make fun of it. That's his life. So if that's what he wants, that's what he wants. And if that's what he has, that's what he has. He's richer than me. He has way more power than me than anything in the world, so he can do anything the fuck he wants to do. But I'm just saying, that is weird as fuck. 50 years. 50 fucking years. And not even 50, it might be 48, 47. I don't fucking know, but that's just still weird. Like, like,
In my opinion, it's outrageous.
I'm gonna get off the conversation of the Bill Belichick because I think I've talked for maybe 8 or 9 minutes of just him and his fucking girlfriend. Um, but shit, other than that, like in college basketball, we go to college basketball now. North Carolina is straight garbage, straight shit. Fucking RJ Davis is playing like fucking. Who is he playing like right now? He's playing like a fucking Quentin Grimes for the fucking Pistons. That's how bad he's playing right now. And we don't. And the North Carolina fucking Tar Heels don't even have a center that can do anything. Jalen Washington can't even get a board. The point guards have more rebounds than him every fucking game. Make that make sense. How are you 7 foot tall and can't get more than 3 rebounds a game? Shit angers me.
Great question right there.
Shit angers the fuck out of me. And then you have Elliot Cadeau. Every time he plays a good team, he has more than 5 turnovers. Like, what in the world are you doing with the ball? You fucking dribble and do that shit in practice. What the fuck are you doing? I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes the referees don't fucking be on your side, Elliot. But that can't be an excuse every fucking time. Like, bro, some of the shit you be doing is fucking outrageously bad, bro. Like, what are you doing?
I don't even know a team like that.
And you have someone that decided they were going to transfer out of North Carolina, and then they decided to come back. Seth Trimble, I love you, my guy. You are the guy, bro. He's over here. He went from averaging like 3-4 points a game to averaging 17. Why were we not starting him before? His fucking defense was there for sure. We saw that in the fucking March Madness last year. I don't know why the fuck y'all didn't let him play. Like, what are y'all doing? Y'all see how we played against Bama, how we played against all the other fucking teams before we made it to Bama. I don't know who we played in March Madness last year. I don't remember. But shit, he was the one that fucking helped us. When RJ Davis couldn't make a three against Alabama, who was making threes? Seth Trimble and Elliot Cadeau. That's a sad thing, because last year Elliot Cadeau could not hit shit. So I'm going to say, with honest, the Tar Heels this year, I don't think will make the playoffs. I don't think they'll make March Madness. Simple as that. Unless they find someone that can out rebound and somehow, if RJ Davis can fucking shoot over 20% from three or in field goal range, we'll win games. RJ Davis shoots more than like 30 shots a game and only makes like 10. That's fucking bad. His 30-point game that he had the other day were like 13 free throws. 13 fucking free throws. Fucker's team is Duke. When we play Duke this year, North Carolina plays Duke this year, Duke will probably fucking sweep us. That's how bad. I would never say that because I'm a Tar Heel fan, but the way that they've been fucking playing, I don't think North Carolina's winning shit. They beat Georgia Tech on one day this week, but I don't give a fuck. They are playing like absolute shit, in my opinion.
I ain't gonna lie, Louisville boy does like literally within like the same.
Y'all always have a bad first half every year. Well, every game this year, because y'all fucking played some trash ass team this year or last week that ended up y'all were score was 28-21 at halftime. The end of the score was 72-46. You went from winning by 8 to winning by like 40 or 30, something like that. Like Duke is going to beat North Carolina. And I don't even want to say this. NC State will probably beat North Carolina. That's how fucking sad it is. You can't stand them either, but NC State is going to beat North Carolina because they have a center. We don't. We're going to get shit on by NC State. And I don't want to ever say that shit again because that shit hurts me to even say that at all. But that's what's going to happen.
Oh my god, he's not. He never knows.
It's simple as that. And then what I also want to say is I know congratulations to the women's soccer for North Carolina. They won the national championship against Wake Forest. Good shit on that. Let's talk a little bit about my fucking school a little bit actually. App State football got a new head coach. I think his name's Dowell Loggins from South Carolina, offensive coordinator. Had Lenore Sellers and then also Spencer Rattler when he coached at South Carolina. And, Spencer Rattler's in the NFL for the Saints right now. So that's a pretty good quarterback that he put out of South Carolina. So South Carolina just had somebody transfer name, I think Robbie Osford or something like that from South Carolina. I'm hoping he comes to App State. If he comes to App State, we're going to have a great year next year. Because I know he has worked with Dow, and I know that's going to end up being a really good thing. I like our chances next year at App State. I'm not gonna lie. We hired a new coach. Sean Clark wasn't a bad coach, but I don't think people kind of hated him, and I think that was the reason why App State got rid of him because one losing season they took him out immediately. I don't agree with it, but that's just my opinion. David Loggins or not David Dow. I'm sorry, Dow Loggins. I know he's going to be a really good coach. He said he was going to be in his press conference. I think he said he was more about relationships with the team. I like that a lot. You got to create relationships to bond, trust, and all that. To know when you go on the football field, you're putting your life, putting your fucking heart on the line for this fucking game. And when you do that shit, that means contact. It's gonna fucking kill each other out on the field, man. Yeah, I like that type of football. That's just my opinion, though. That's just me. I love that type of shit. I like the fucking contact. Fucking. But yeah, I think I'd say it's gonna win at least 7, 8, 9 games next year. We'll see what happens, but shit, Joey Aguilar is gonna be gone. Kanye transferred. Kanye Roberts, Jordan Favors. I think I don't know who else is gonna transfer, but I hope Makai Jackson stays. I hope Anderson Castle. I hope he stays. I hope I don't know if Amani Marshall can stay. I'm not sure if he's a fifth year. I'm not. He's the same thing for Fletcher. Michael Fletcher. If those two can stay, I want those back on my team next year. Those two are dogs. Like they are fucking dogs. Um, but yeah, I think that App State will be good next year. It's just a hope, but I also think they can be, and I'm not gonna say much more about it. I'm gonna just say that go App.